We are back. Welcome to HBCU Drumline Talk. My name is Ricardo, and I'm joined once again by my brother in percussion, the drumologist himself, EP the Great. And man, it has been a blessing to once again come on and talk with you guys. For our viewers out there, I know it's been a long time, but man, the line that we just saw, the clip that we just watched was really amazing. This is, there are several lines that I truly like to watch, but there are several lines that I can really just listen to all day. And who is this? None other than Bowie State's drumline, The Perfect Storm. And it's not going to take here from us. We're going to let them introduce themselves and let them know what their drumline is all about tonight. Who wants to go first?
All right, my name is Gerard Hines. I serve as a staff member at Bowie State University for the Symphony of Soul. I'm a percussion coordinator and also serve as the announcer.
Hello, my name is Dapo, but you can call me Dap. I also serve on staff for the Symphony of Soul marching band at Bowie State University, and I happen to be the percussion coordinator for the Perfect Storm drumline as well.
Hello, my name is Jose. I'm a junior, second year as captain as the Perfect Storm drumline at Bowie State.
That's awesome, man. We want to welcome you guys to HBCU Drumline
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
No doubt. Thank you.
So one thing I just wanted to remind our viewers that we are not the experts about your drumline. So we want to introduce you guys or have you guys on to talk specifically about the great things that you do at Bowie State. And for those of you who don't know out there, just where exactly is Bowie State at?
Bowie State is located in the state of Maryland. Some may know it as the DMV. We're about maybe 15 minutes from Washington, D.C., 20 to 25 minutes from Baltimore, and maybe 15 minutes from Annapolis. So we sit really like in the middle of some major areas in this area. So we're just excited to be here, man. If you've never been to the campus of Bowie State, we definitely welcome you with open arms. Come check us out.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, very nice campus, very nice campus. I visited a couple of times. But when did you all's journey with percussion begin?
So I'll let Jose start with that.
So I started my percussion journey when I was around the age of probably 9 or 10. I grew up in the church. Well, I grew up in a Hispanic church because my family's Dominican. So I grew up playing a lot of Latin percussion, like congas, tambora, guira, stuff like that, maracas. And then when I started officially being in band my 8th grade year of middle school. I joined the last semester. And then just since then, I just been doing band ever since. Moving from percussion to piano to playing upright bass in jazz band, and then still going on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Who next?
That
I guess I'll go. So I started my percussion journey, I would say, when I was 3 years old. Just like Jose, I started in church. In my church, I was a choir boy. Every time my mom would try to keep me on her lap, I would push her away and crawl to the choir, and they'll send me back to my mom, and I'll crawl back. And then one day, after they just got tired of me, they just let me stay inside the barricade because our choir was kind of like barricaded, like with bricks at the time. So ever since then, I always had sticks in my head. I was always beaten. And my first experience, at least to marching band, was when I was in middle school. My band director, Mr. McPherson, he took me up to Parkdale High School to see the drum line. And I joined, the drum line there. And then ever since then, like I will say that there's been always an increase in my skill level and just my experiences with marching band as a whole. So that's my story.
And then for me, I started playing percussion in high school. I actually started as an instrumentalist on baritone horn all throughout middle school. And my sister played percussion. And I don't know, when we were going band trips, I was like, I want to be in the percussion section with my sister. So I switched over and learned percussion in high school, played the bass drum. And then I went on to Bowie State University and continued on marching in the percussion section there from 2001 to 2005.
All right.
Man,
Okay. Cool. So, we're gonna switch gears. Talk to us about you all's choice of drum heads and tuning.
So I'll let my section leader also take part in that answer before I say anything.
Oh, well, with tuning, we try to make, well, for our tonals, we try to make him practically how I make him sing. Make it so like when you hear it from across the field, you're like, oh, them tonals sound crisp and clear at the same time. So it's not like it's how I say it. It's you can hear it, it's not confusing of what's being played exactly. And same things for the quints as well. We just don't crank them and just try to get to too high. You gotta find we try to make it sound melodic, like have a melody to it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he kind of just said it all. When I became percussion coordinator at Bowie, after, marching there for at least 5 years, the mindset that I had is that coming from an African background, because I'm from Nigeria, even the way that we speak our language is by notes. So, like he said, I've always been used to tuning in a melodic interval. So when I tune the drums, I tune it from a percussive African background. And with a percussive African background, everything has a tone, everything has a note. So that way, when you're playing parts, you can hear the beauty of the part itself because you will hear it in the notes. So it's not like you'll hear a piano per se, but you will at least hear the separation of parts. So when you hear the separation between the tonals, when you hear the quints come in, like I like for the color to be noticeable when you're hearing a cadence, when you're hearing a block. So I make sure that when we tune the drums, that we tune it according to how we can hear the different colors. Especially with our snare players, when we tune them, we make sure that they resonate more even when we get outside or even when we're in the band room, that they can cut through the crowd, they can cut through the stands and whatnot. So that way when they're playing their 2 and 4 on any groove, they will cut through so that way it keeps the tempo of whatever we're doing. So that's how we tune at Bowie State.
Okay, so choice of heads. I mean, well, I guess heads. It doesn't matter, basically.
It doesn't matter, but we prefer Evans head. Sometimes the black Evan heads, or sometimes Ramo. But if you watch our videos, 9 times out of 10 you're going to see Evans head. Either white Evans heads or black Evan heads. For the quints, we like to use the system blue heads, preferably the ones that they're dark at the top and then they kind of come into a clear view, because we believe that fits for our style of playing. And also we use the system blue snares, Evans heads for our snares as well.
Yeah, Evans. I love Evans sound, especially on bass.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear you. So sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I didn't hear Elijah. I'm so sorry about that.
No, I was saying I love Evans sound on bass. I love
Yes.
Evans sound, that bass sound. Love it.
Yeah.
That's good, Mr. Hines. Did you want to chime in on that?
No, the first coordinator and captain took care of it. They pretty much would say everything I would say, so we pretty much stick to.
I did want to just mention something. I did know, because I've been watching you guys for quite some time, and on HBCU Drumline Talk, we do like to do our research. I noticed there was a switch, right? You guys had some, I don't know, you guys had some white drums. I don't know the brand of the drums you had. I think
the Pearl drums
were playing. What were they?
Pearl.
Okay, so you guys switched over to
Lwig's. Yeah.
You notice a difference in the Pearl sound and the Lwig sound, and which one fits better for what you guys are doing?
I would say Lwig fits more, because I feel like the shells of the Lwig's, they have a different material than the Pearls. The Pearls have more of a wood finish. So the Lwig's also have a wood finish, but it's wood mixed with a bit of plastic, I would say. So when you're playing the drums, you'll see that, for the instance, like the quints, like the Pearl quints, like they had a good texture sound, but the Lwig drums have more of a warm sound. So when you get outside and we play together as a unit, it resonates more across the field. Or even when we're in the gym, like they adjust to the sound that you're in. So I would say the Lwig drums have been doing a great deal for us. So shout out to Lwig.
Hey, shout out to Lwig, right?
Definitely. They show us a lot of love. We try to tag them as much as we can in a lot of our material. Just let them know like we want to put their brand out there as much as we can. So we appreciate it.
For sure.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of lines going to Lwig, or switching to Lwig or back to Lwig.
Yeah.
I'm a Pearl guy, so hey.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So we talked a little bit about, where you guys' journey with percussion began and, the tuning methodology behind what you guys do and the type of drums you guys use. What we really want to talk about now is, you guys' core principles for your line, the Perfect Storm Drumline. So can you talk to us about what your core principles are for the students in your drumline?
Absolutely. Jose.
The core principles are discipline, accountability, musicality, growth. Attitude is everything. Attitude is a big factor in anything you do in life. And also mind over matter. You can't, if your body's tired, you gotta push through it mentally. So those are the 5 key things that we try to live by after doing the Perfect Storm Drumline.
Absolutely. And we definitely stress, I want to talk a little bit about the discipline part. Oftentimes when you have incoming students from various high schools, they come from different playing styles, different directors that may allow certain things, some directors may not. So it's like you're trying to take these incoming students and kind of have them kind of fit into the Bowie State way, So discipline is the biggest part, and if you're disciplined, all things kind of fall into place, as far as memorization and, small things as far as like being on time, looking alike, all those type of things would fall in under that discipline. We feel like if we are a disciplined line, then everything else will kind of fall into place as it should.
Good. Dap, do you have anything to put on that?
Man, they've said everything that I could have said, man. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
So one thing, obviously your core values, do they also, I'm sure they also apply, Mr. Hines, to your section leaders as well, correct?
Absolutely.
Ability as well. So that's good. I think discipline, from what I'm hearing right now, it seems like that's where you guys start. And then everything, once you get the discipline thing set in place, everything just falls.
Absolutely. We were just talking to the line the other day, Dap and I, we were saying like, this is that crucial point in the year where like you're finished with marching season. You're looking at your glows and your grows, things that went great, things that didn't go so great. And then you want to try to, of course, tackle those things, those areas where it weren't so great, so you can be prepared for the following season. And with us about to welcome in incoming freshmen in a few months, we want to make sure that we are in top good shape as far as our discipline. So when an incoming freshman comes in, there's not much talking that needs to happen. Like, if you notice when practice starts, as soon as we begin, we're at attention. So that's not something we should have to tell an incoming freshman. They come in, they see it. Oh, everybody's at attention. Cool. I'm going to do the same thing. So we're more about, you just come in and you just fall into place versus us having to tell you exactly what's going on.
Okay, cool. So I take it that with the, the big thing of discipline, once they do fall into place, that goes into some of your, the time it takes to be more creative with the line, correct? And before we get into the next question, which we talk about, the musicality of the drum line, I want our audience out there to just take a real quick look at this clip. Such an awesome clip. And I just wanted to say, I have seen so many drum lines, and Elijah, I know you've had your share of seeing drum lines as well. But one thing I really like about this clip is just the total control over tempo it's just I think it's really amazing. Most drum lines would have, could have fallen apart, could have, this timing could have been off. But I'd like you guys to really talk to us about the creative process of your line's material, such as musical influences, developing a groove within the drum line. Could you really elaborate on those?
I'll let Jose go on that.
So what we do basically, since Bowie, Maryland is in the DMV area, and, in the DMV area, go-go swung music being in the pocket has a big influence over, especially the DC area. So we try to incorporate that with our own style and with the music that we play in the band, staying in the pocket, finding the groove, finding where to add little beats and pieces to add color to it. That's a big part of what we do here.
Yeah, I believe that anytime we create a cadence or a block, or just a groove in general, or even a groove for a song, I try my best to make sure that, for an example, like if we have a block that we want to make, whatever feel it's in or whatever groove is in, we keep the technicality, but I want to make sure that when we're playing it, we have to remember that we're not playing it for ourselves as a line. There's a whole crowd that also wants to enjoy what we're playing. So I make sure that even though it's technical, that the crowd can interpret it and also enjoy it as well. So yes, you will have your paradiddle diddles in there and your flam accents in there, and you will have your Swiss armies, but at the same time, you're going to get some pocket in there that you can groove to as well, so that everybody's having a great time as they're listening to the Perfect Storm Drumline. So that is something that I always consider when we are putting these things together, as far as what we're doing to create our town.
Yeah, man, awesome. Mr. Hines, please chime in.
Oh, listen, I told you, I said I'm gonna put my section leader to work, and he knows all those things. So he said the same thing. I mean, like you said, when the DMV go is the thing here, So that's something that our students, outsiders, friends of Bowie State, anytime you at a football game or anywhere where you see Bowie State, even when we play schools in the South, they know Bowie's gonna come with some nice pocket beats and some great grooves. So we pride ourselves on those.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, man, that clip was an awesome clip. And for those of you out there who don't know, that clip came from their most recent winter concert. So just when you guys' explanation of groove and just how you're developing a pocket within the drum line and within the band is really amazing, because, I think it's challenging for some lines out there to just, without the drum majors controlling the tempo, you guys have a great opportunity to just control the tempo on your own. So I think that was really good.
Yeah, that clip was nice. Y'all boys are grooving up there.
Thank you.
For real. And I'm a big go-go head myself. I'm a conga player.
Wow.
Jose, we might have to trade off, at the end of the cast, man. I got my conga right here. I think you got yours. But I seen you guys first 1996, my freshman year, when I started marching, me and Ricardo. And I see the growth. From then to now. And I like it, But for the next question, what is the vision going forward for this, for you all Drumline?
What's our vision, man?
So our vision is to expand and make sure that we get our sound and our perspective of Drumline to the whole, across the nation and the whole entire world, for people to know that Bowie State Drumline is also doing it as well. I believe that every drumline has their narrative, and one thing about me and Gerard and Jose is that we respect the narrative and perspective of every drumline. Because at the end of the day, how Bowie State Drumline plays, it's not the same way how V State plays. It's not the same way how Lincoln plays. It's not the same way how Southern plays. Everybody has their own story and perspective when it comes to the drumline. So Bowie State has been in the shadows for a couple of years, you know what I'm saying? But I know that lately we've been trying to get our sound out there, and our vision is just to astound and amaze, and just really show people our perspective of what drums and what playing looks like. And another vision is making sure that our students are also growing in their career and their education as they're passing through our drumline. So not only are they growing as musicians, but they're going to be reliable women and men that can be used in the community to do great things as well. So we put these things together to make sure that all in all, that we're a successful drumline. So that's our vision.
Absolutely. Well said.
And I'm sorry, I also want to cut in, and that's one thing, you know, some people forget, you know, when they're working with a line, high school, college, whatever, you know, you have to develop that player, not musical wise, but you know, how to be a man or a woman, how to go about life, you know, this and that. But yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you said something, Dap, that I really want to touch on. I know you said, man, you know, Bowie States, you guys' drumline, you know, the perfect storm has been like in the shadows, right?
Yeah.
Not with us. You know, you've been on our radar for a minute. Just for those folks out here, it's challenging to reach out to folks and get them on the cast to tell your narrative, right? Because we can all go on YouTube and say, yeah, I like this drum line, I like that drum line. No, we want to hear it from the source. We want to hear what things you guys are doing. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So with the big picture, which you mentioned in you guys' narrative, we want to really transition into, you know, your audition process, right? For an incoming freshman or someone who's played, it's not an incoming freshman, but is transferring in, right? Really talk to us about the audition process for your drum line and what are your expectations for your line, as well as the instructor, as well as the captain.
So I'll let Jose talk about exactly like what we look for in regards to material, and but I'll say this, and I'll put in a quick plug. Buie State University Symphony of Soul are offering full scholarships to percussion. So any singer that's out there, if you play percussion, you're pretty good, definitely hit us up, and we'll make sure that we have our contact information here with this broadcast so you can get in contact with us. But there is an audition process, and something that we've been trying to, I guess, balance. And as you can, I think you stated earlier, Mr. E, that the band you saw in 1996 and the band now is completely different, and we've evolved and we've changed. We've gotten large, we've gotten smaller. Like we've just been up and down, right? So now we're on the up and trend where we're growing more, and now we're trying to balance our percussion and instrumentalists, right? And what we don't want to be is one of those bands with 40 percussionists and 60 instrumentalists, right? So the audition piece is really, really huge for us. That myself and Jose, we actually just met a couple of weeks ago, just trying to figure out what the line looks like next season. You know, our band will be much bigger than what it was this season, but we just don't want to overdo it. So we've kind of put a cap on how many snares we're going to have, how many basses we're going to have, cymbals and things of that sort. So the audition process is super important because, of course, we are starting to have a lot of incoming freshmen who are interested in playing on the line. And of course, if we could take all of them, we would. But we want to make sure that it's thorough, and we want to make sure that we're taking quality instrumentalists. So I'll let Jose talk a little bit about what we're looking for when the audition actually happens.
Well, for our audition process, there'll be certain rudiments that each player will have to play on a certain drum. So if you want to play a snare, there's certain rudiments you have to play different than what a bass player will have to play. Because, you know, as a bass player, you're not really playing cheeses, flam, drag, vocal parts, or stuff like that. So the selection of rudiments that you have to play varies from instrument to instrument. But no matter if you're a cymbal player, bass player, tone or drop, quint, you're still expected to know all 40 rudiments to stand the 40. In case someone we may have to make a switch.
Absolutely.
And also, yeah.
Dap, did he miss anything?
He didn't miss anything at all, you know. And in our audition, we don't only look at the player, but we also look at the character and the attitude. I think Rick and Mr. E, you guys can agree that somebody can be a great player but have the worst attitude. Somebody can be a great player but have punctuality issues. And believe it or not, these are things that play a big role in the life of a player, especially with the university. So something that goes into our audition is also an interview, you know, just making sure that their mind and their heart posture is correct on what they want to do at Bowie State Drumline. And then after that, we go into the playing thing, just like you said, and making sure that you know your standard 40. But snare players are expected to know their hybrids, you know, as far as also quint players as well. So that is our audition process, and this year it's going to be coming into fruition. And we have big hopes for it as well.
Okay, I also kind of forgot something. Sorry, if I can chime in. And also, we're not just trying to build a snare player or a quint player. We're trying to build percussionists.
Yep.
So they can play, they can expand. So if you just play snare, you may want to move to quints, but then also say we're going to concert band music. You're a snare player, but then you also can play vibes or bells or mallets or timpani or anything like that. So we're not also just trying to build only a player that plays a drumline drum, but also like they can broaden their horizons, being in a concert band percussionist as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Dapo, you mentioned something. You can, for us, I guess players having, not a good attitude. I'd rather have, a player that needs help with a good attitude. But when you have a bad attitude, whether you're a good player or not, it's just not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much stress, headache. But going to the next question, what advice would you give up and coming drumline instructor, whether on a college or high school level? What advice would you give someone?
I'll let Gerard go first on that, man.
I would say definitely be open-minded to various personalities. I think as times have changed, I say this all the time to Dap, like I think we go in as instructors thinking and comparing the drum line to our time when we march. And it's important that we don't do that, right? Because one, this experience is not ours, right? You're now the percussionists of Bowie State Perfect Storm, and we want you to have just as an amazing time as we did, right? So it's their experience. So we have to be open to change, be open to, the way that we played is different now. Things that was hot and, that was kind of getting you a lot of attention or whatever might not be as hot now, so just being open to change and just being open to different personalities from students that are coming from all over, being flexible and being able to listen. So that would be my input on as far as advice to someone that's designed to be an instructor.
I will say you have to be open to sacrifice time, because it does involve a lot of time to pour, knowledge and an impact into the kids or the young adults that you are bringing on into your life and to have an experience. So I would say that anybody who is trying to become an instructor, to make sure that they can give that time, to pour in, but at the same time, find a balance between where you're pouring in and when they're also creating their own narrative as well. We make sure that we allow Jose to run the show, and also put his own flavor into what he wants his line to be as a captain, and making sure that I'm not overbearing or Gerard is not, that we're not overbearing the drum line and putting him aside and just making him a figurehead. No, he's more than that. He's a captain. So, we make sure that we also give him the freedom. Not too long ago, he introduced the cadence to the line himself and taught it to the line by himself, and that's a great thing to see. So when me and Gerard decide that we feel like we've done enough and we want to take a step back and focus on our lives, Jose doesn't hesitate to be an instructor or a coordinator because he was acting as a section leader. So just preparing him for the next step as well.
And if I can add one more recommendation for anybody that's designed to be an instructor, make sure that you understand that they are student musicians, right? They're students first, right? So one thing that we pride ourselves on when we first took over as coordinators for this section, we wanted to make sure that our line put their academics first. You can have the best line, the best percussions, all of that, but if everybody's failing, then you won't have a line at all, because then you lose your scholarship and you get kicked out of school and all those things. So we start our practice an hour early before the rest of the band, and that first hour is not on drums. That first hour is in our books. So literally we come together as a line, and that also helps to build culture and unity amongst the line. So they help each other out with their studies. Somebody strong in math, they can help out the weak person that's in math, and vice versa. So We want to make sure that we always put our academics first. We pride ourselves at Bowie State University in our band program on making sure that academics come first so we can continue to build and retain the students that we have.
Man, let me just say this, Elijah. We have talked to so many folks, right? We have had the opportunity to have so many people come on. This is the first time someone has ever come on and say, hey, look, we start practice an hour early, but it's not on drums. It's about we focus on the books first.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And we've definitely seen the outcome of doing that.
Yes.
A lot of our students got over 3.0s. You know, our captain who is sitting here speaking with us got phenomenal grades.
Absolutely.
This last semester that just passed, fall semester. And we're proud of him as he's growing and taking that step in his education as well. So we're definitely seeing the fruits of them taking their study hall serious. You know, yeah.
Yeah, school come first. Beat second.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Beat second. Yeah.
They know if they don't have those grades, they don't strap up. So, you know.
So I have a question, and this concerns you, Jose, but this question is geared for Dap and Mr. Hines, right? Mm-hmm. So we already talked about, the discipline aspect, and what I'd like to ask Mr. Hines and Dap is, what are your expectations for your drumline captain?
What are the expectations? One, that you are a leader. You're setting a good example for those that you're being asked to lead, rather. Of course, you have good grades. You're well versed on your drum, and you're able to kind of teach and also be well rounded as a listener. Because, like I said, you have multiple personalities, and then you have students that are around your age. So sometimes it's hard to kind of separate that balance. And I'll speak for Jose. He has a lot of friends on the line, lots of friends, right? And he does a great job with separating the business side of drumming and his friendships. So when we're in practice and he gives some types of direct, hey guys, we're about to do X, Y, and Z, there's no pushback or anything like that, because they know when we are in percussion mode, that's business mode. We got work to do. And then outside of practice, then he's able, to have his friendships and things. So definitely someone that can lead and know the difference between that. That's what I would say. Dap, how about you?
Someone who's reliable. I think that's a very important thing. Making sure that our captain is reliable. Gerard has said it all honestly. Making sure that he's a student leader, that he's talking and walking. He's not just talking to talk, but he's walking whatever he's preaching as well.
Right.
And I believe that our captain is doing a great job with that. But just really being reliable, being able to be depended on as a section leader. That in the heat of the moment, that you will always show up for your section. In the books, in your studies, and also on the drums as well, and making sure that he's versatile. So he could teach a bass part, he could teach a quint part, he could teach a snare part. Somebody's struggling, he knows what to do to help out if me and Gerard aren't around at the moment. So that's what we expect from our captain.
Man, Jose, seems like you got it on lock. Man, the person coming up behind you, I don't know. All right, good. So just transitioning now. So Dap, describe, and I'm going to go around here real quick. So describe your most memorable moment as a student and instructor during your time with the drumline.
Oh, wow. Okay, so as a student, I believe that I have two moments that were memorable for me. I believe my first moment, and funny enough, Gerard happens to be a part of this moment. I was at CI's. CI's has a tournament where, the CIAA tournament that used to happen in North Carolina. It's in Baltimore now. Funny enough, it's coming up, so catch us there. But the CIAA tournament used to happen in North Carolina at the Charlotte Stadium, I believe. It was a Hornet Stadium. Yep. And the drumline, Bowie State, we used to play where the drop will be behind, I would be in the middle, the snare players will be in front, and the cymbal players will be beside me. So I was playing one time, and I was just playing, just having fun, because it was CI's. And I believe that when I go to CI's, I should be at the top of my gear, because that's the most audience that you see. So I was a quint player. And my band director, Adolph Emil Wright, he used to, when he sees a good quint player, he's going to vibe off of you. So he used to make me lead the band into songs. So I'll probably have like a solo for it, like 20 measures, 10 measures, depending on, what the vibes are. And at this particular game at CI's, somebody just went to Gerard and was like, hey, can you give this to him? I just wanted to give him a tip. So Gerard just put the cash in my hand. It was $50. And I was like, whoa. And I didn't, I think that was the first time that I realized that whoever you think isn't watching you, people are watching you.
Mhm.
You just never know when. So that was a great experience. Really, that was very encouraging. And then I believe my second experience was as a student was when I played a solo at a game and it went viral on the CIAA page.
Yeah.
And that solo was funny because it's a written solo, like it has an actual part, but then I kind of added my own flavor and kept a certain sweep going, and it just kind of looked cool. So that was a great memory. Then as an instructor, favorite, I'll say my favorite memory was we currently just played Lincoln at a game, and my band director seeing me as a coach, that really meant a lot for me. Because I took a lot from him. So I believe that he saw a lot of the things that he installed in me in that line, from the grooves, from the way they march, the way they play, the way their grooves lock immediately, and the way the tempo is so consistent. I was happy that he could see that that was part of me and my co-instructor's handiwork. So I would say that was my favorite moment as an instructor.
As an instructor, I'm going to say I'm actually going to skip over that one. Here's why: we are still currently making memories, and right now I have so many that I can speak on. Last year we brought in over 15 freshmen, and just being able to just see them all last season, like every game, I felt like there was some type of memory made just to see their progression and how they've grown as percussionists. It's just been outstanding. So I'll leave that as my instructor memory. And then as a student, so many. I guess I would speak on. We went to, I don't know if you all recall, we had this thing called Battle Fest that Norfolk State used to host annually. And yeah, when you got there, you put all the schools' name in the hat, and then you draw out two, and those two schools will go at it. And at that time, Bowie State was one of those drum lines that like Dap said, was like kind of in the shadows, and nobody really knew of us or whatever. So we went up against a D1 drum line, and of course, the first thing you think of is, well, they're gonna tear y'all up. And when I tell you, we got out there and did our thing. I mean, did our thing, had the crowd on their feet. I mean, it was just outstanding. So that's just something that I will never ever forget. And I know Jose and his drum line, they get sick of me showing them different VHS clips from YouTube that you can barely see the people or whatever. I'm telling my age there, but that clip at Battle Fest, battling against that particular D1 drum line, was a memorable experience for me.
What drum line was that?
It was Hit Squad from Morgan State.
Okay.
Rick, you starting stuff.
Uh-oh.
That was good.
Well, he didn't say that he chopped them. He just said they did their thing.
We got love for Hit Squad. Definitely got love for them. Jose, what you got, buddy?
Well, my most memorable moment is, the 2022 football season when we went to Elizabeth City. So we got to Elizabeth City. Elizabeth City, they was doing their thing. They was playing at us during the first half of the game. We didn't respond. But then once we got back in the stands after halftime, we were just going straight back and forth. Drum lines going back and forth, snares going back and forth, the tonals, bass line going back and forth. To me, that's the most memorable because I feel like that's the most interaction that the drum lines have. You're trading your ideas. You're trying to prove that you're better. You're going back and forth. You trying to let them know, each section, both of them. No, we coming, so you got to come back.
Absolutely.
Good.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're coming on down to the end. And this question is for everybody. Who was your favorite line to watch outside of your own school and conference, and why?
I'll say that my favorite line to watch up till today, I gotta give them their respect, is Norfolk University, $1 Million Fuck Squad.
I think we all
Those,
have Norfolk.
yeah, those guys are a big inspiration for me when I'm making stuff for my kids as well, because I just like their approach to the drum line. It's not it's not it's not like an attack. It's not heavy. It's not too loud, but it's the right sound, the right tempo, the right groove, the right application of rudiments. The movement of the blocks and just the skill that they apply to it. That is a drum line that I really admire, and big ups to them, man. Big ups to them.
I too would say Norfolk, and I would also add on A&T for the showmanship. They're gonna give you a show. I mean, the entire program will give you a show, from the band, their halftime show, but the drummers as well. So I would just add those, add on A&T as well.
I'll say the same thing. Norfolk, especially Norfolk for the chops, and A&T. A&T's gonna bring the chops and the showmanship. A&T's gonna make sure that they grab your attention.
Okay, cool. So
Okay,
that seems to be Norfolk and A&T. Okay, that's good. So if you had to see either one of them on the 50, what would the outcome be?
Let me say this. If we had to see Norfolk or A&T, we'll give them a hard time. Because I think one thing that I like about Bowie State is you underestimate us because you don't really know us. And then because you underestimate us, you probably take your time and you chill out. And by the time we play our first block, you're like, oh my God, we need to wake up. And at that point, it's too late. So I would say that Bowie State is we're like a sniper. Like, we don't shoot you like in front of your face. Like, we shoot you from far and you will not see it coming. And by the time that we hit you with the first one, it's too late. It's just too late, So
I'm more playing Call of Duty.
yeah.
I'm more playing Call of Duty out this jump. Okay.
Yeah, man. Bowie said we're silent shooters. We're that sniper that you need. So and I think I like that about what me and Gerard has installed in our kids. We've definitely made sure that anytime they see any school that we're confident. Never drop your confidence for anyone, because anybody can get it at the end of the day, So that's the narrative, man. That's my answer.
Man, that's awesome. Anyone else have anything to chime in on?
No, this has been awesome. We really appreciate you guys for having us, and we look forward to y'all coming up to visit us at Bowie State for one of our games, or if we're somewhere near you, we're playing one of our CIAA schools, come and check us out. And we just look forward to, meeting you guys.
Yeah, I got one more thing before we end up here. I always like to do this is our bonus question time, right? So it's one thing I don't like to do. Normally we would say, hey, Jose, you have your drumsticks, or hey, Mr. Hines, you have your drumsticks. But I want to take a different route. You mentioned something earlier in the conversation. Hey, man, you're giving out some scholarships at this point. So imagine if I'm a young high school student just getting ready to graduate from high school. What's your pitch to me about Bowie State? It's Drumline, I should say.
The Drumline at Bowie State. Well, first, have you applied to Bowie State University? If not, why not? There's no other choice for you out here but Bowie State University. We're the first historically Black college university in the state of Maryland. We're offering full scholarships, partial scholarships. We care about your academics. We want to see you grow and thrive to become a young man in this world. Not only that, but you can be a part of one of the best drum lines in the CIAA. It gets no better than that.
Okay. Yeah.
Just come to Bowie State, man. You won't regret it. Okay. I'm an example. You really just won't regret it. We have a great time. We have fun. And one thing about me, I'm serious, but I like to have fun. So we're going to crack jokes, we're going to laugh, we're going to have a great time, and at the same time, you will grow in your craft as well. So Bowie State is the place to be. Come test it out, man. You'll never regret it. Promise you.
Jose.
Well, Bowie State, the school itself is an amazing place. You go friendships, opportunities, and the drumline is also just a bonus. We're gonna chop, we're gonna do our thing. and you also go grow as a person and experience new things.
Man, I need to go talk to my parents tonight.
Right, don't look at the money. And this is also a prime time to be a part of the program. As you both probably are aware, we're down and out at one point in time, and now we are really, really growing. We went from I would say 25 members to this year we had a total of 85 members in the course of the span of 2 years. So each year we're adding on 25 to 30 new members. So next year we're expected to hit over that 100 mark, and we want to keep it moving. So this is the prime time to jump on board.
Oh man, EP.
Cool. So yeah, good show, good cast. Gerard, I think we seeing y'all for our homecoming October 12th.
Yep.
This Virginia State. Who is this?
Huh?
Who?
What? VSU, baby.
Who?
VSU Drumline.
Oh yeah. We'll be there. We'll be there. You know, I'll say this. And when we arrive, we won't have anywhere else to go afterwards. So that way we can finally battle.
And see, and you know what? That's always been, whenever you go up there, we got to rush to do this, you know. So hopefully, you know, something gets, you know, a little friendly exchange.
Absolutely. And it's always fun battling you guys. Always fun.
Yeah.
And that's a tradition that's been going on for years.
Yes. Yes.
Between the big buildings, now that you all's band, you know, it's been a tradition for a while.
Yes, sir. All love, all fun.
Absolutely.
All right, so you know, to come to an end, I want to thank Jose, Dapo, Gerard for taking their time out on Tuesday evening to come on our cast and talk about their great drumline, The Perfect Storm, Bowie State University. For the followers, hit that like button, share. And like I always say, it's for the culture. It's not about us. And we see you next time.
Man, thank you guys. This has been a wonderful treat.
Absolutely.
We look forward to seeing you next year as well. You guys have a great evening.
You too.
You too.